Let's go. I really got the feeling today that everything is going my way. Now this is what I'm talking about. Every time I see your smile, it makes me shout. Let's go. Let's go. Nothing's gonna stop us today. Get on the bus or get out the way. We're cruising with the radio on. So turn it up to 10. Here comes our favorite song. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
And welcome. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good dawn, good whatever, wherever you find yourself. Welcome to another episode of IoT Tuesday. After a very long break in transmission, we are back again with the live streams. First of all, I'd like to say a big apology. Sorry for starting an hour and 11 minutes late. Just as I was about to get into it, I don't know what happened, and technology decided to fail on me. OBS crashing on me, my stream scenes messing up and all that. So today, the show must go on. So I told myself that I'm going to do the show with a minimal set of, effect or minimal scenes and all that. And as I'm speaking with you right now, my power is actually off, but hey, the show must go on. So we're going to run on genset for a while to make sure we get the show started. As you all know, before we get started, excitement all over. It's a brand new IoT Tuesday show. We'll talk about a lot of AI stuff. We'll take a look at what made news in the just ended Microsoft Ignite. We're going to take also a look at what's happening in the area of Microsoft IoT and Microsoft AI pertaining to IoT. And then we'll get into doing some unboxing. I have a couple of kits before I went on the break. So we'll use the opportunity, today as we're getting started, to pretty much just unbox them, see what it is, and we're going to have some fun. So if this sounds like something of interest to you, let's go for our montage. When we come back, we're going to get right into it. Stick and stay with me. We'll be right back. Awesome. We're back. And once again, thank you for joining us. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you find yourself on the part of the world. This is the IoT Tuesday show with yours truly, Samuel Adjani, as I do it all the time. We're being back. We're back. We've been back for how many minutes? For probably about 4 or 5 minutes already. And this is just really Samuel Adjani. If you have any questions pertaining to IoT, today's session is just ask me anything. Thank you, Early Claim Kofi, for joining us. If you have any questions, please please feel free to drop them in there. Yeah, it's going to be a lot of exciting things happening. And like I said, I'm not going to be adding a lot of the skirmishes that I do on the show today because I'm trying to run minimal. I wanted to make the show, happen. So, Ellie Klim, thanks for joining, and ask people to join and all that. Now, I'm going to do something. Where is that? For Ellie Cliff being the first person to join the show when we restarted, I'm going to give you one of the MX chip kits. I'm going to give you this IoT dev kit for free. So the first giveaway since we came back live is going to go to Ellie Klim Kofi for being the first person to actually comment whilst joining it. So it's reserved for you, Ellie Klim. And please feel free, if you join us, just give us a shout out. Hi, where you're watching us from, what you're expecting to see in the new season of IoT Tuesday. If you have any projects, let us know. So before we get into it, just so people know, oh yeah, so Sylvia, you are late. I know you're waiting for okay. Okay, yeah, Mr. Kubeko, thank you for joining the show. Thank you so much. It's been a long time since we did this. Thank you for joining. Maybe what I'm going to do is I think we can give thank you very much, bro. I think we can give the first 5 people who join and comment, we can give them free dev kits, IoT dev kits. We're going to get started in IoT. So, okay, what I'm going to do is that, yes, I'm going to give the very first. Sylvia, you are not included. Sylvia, no, you are not included in it. So you are out. But yeah, we're going to give the first 5 people. Producer, please take note of this for me. So we have Ellie Klim, Kofi will get the first dev kit. Yeah, Godwin Kumeko will get the second dev kit. So 5 people today will get a dev kit before we get out of here. So we try to do this every Tuesday. And I'm praying hopefully that in the next coming sessions, 8 p.m. GMT, we will not delay. We'll just make sure that we have this and started on time. So today's session is basically Ask Me Anything about IoT, which is the Internet of Things. But as you all know, on the show, we will be doing stuff specific to AI, artificial intelligence, industrial, and then IoT, right? So whether it's industrial IoT, it's just home automation. Generally, we'll cover the IoT ecosystem. And today as well, I'll try to do some unboxing of some things that I have and to share some tidbits on how things are going to run in the coming, episodes. Now, today is for IoT Tuesday, but it's just also for you to know that all the other streams have also started. So Friday, we're going to have Demystify Tech. And then on Sunday, Power Series returns, with all the goodness and stuff that's going to go on. So just put that on your calendars and make sure that you have that going. So let's, before any question comes in, let's actually, let's start the unboxing. And then if anybody has any questions on IoT, you can do that. But before we get onto all these questions that will come on, I think I want to do something. So let's take ourselves to the just ended Microsoft Ignite, right? And trust me, there were a lot of interesting things that came up. A few of them for me is especially the workload on the edge. If you're doing IoT, whether it's industrial IoT or you're doing any form of IoT and you're considering doing a lot of stuff on the edge, there's a lot of good news. Things have moved from just being previews into general availability. Some of them are in previews you can try out, especially on the Azure ecosystem. So interesting times ahead. I'll just try to, just opening up a few of them to show you what's happening whilst we wait for people to drop in their questions as well. So if you have any questions, like I said, feel free to drop it. But we'll try to get this now. Now, I also want to bring your attention to the IoT, the Accra IoT user group, which is specifically created to help bring us together in terms of people that are interested in IoT, drones, robotics, and also do-it-yourself, that do-it-yourself culture. The group is also active. I'll be sharing links after the show on the social channels for you to go check that out. So There were a couple of keynotes. If you missed the Microsoft Ignite, you can still register, and you can see some of the how do you call it? You can see some of the shows that were were sessions that were created. But for me, what I'm interested in that I want to share is the fact that the future of technology, especially with the emergence of AI, Copilot, and all that, there is a fusion or a blend or infusion of AI in everything, and IoT is not an exception, right? IoT is not an exception. So whether you are doing home automation, industrial IoT, or just hobbyist IoT, you have to start thinking of ways to do some kind of infusing some kind of AI into your IoT. So one of the things was the AI era of industrial transformation, which was one of the sessions that were done. Interesting sessions. And then also evolving IoT for physical operations, right? And that is one of the new things that has been made available for you to try out is Azure IoT operations, right? And in the next couple of series on IoT Tuesday, we'll be seeing how to actually do this. So IoT, Azure IoT operations. Now this is a suite of services, right, that allows you to run your IoT operations, check stuff out, and then manage your how do you call it? Manage your IoT fleet or infrastructure. So that is a good one. And this, like I said, specifically to a lot of people doing stuff on the edge, this is the right time for you. If you probably heard about E4K and stuff like that. Now there is a lot more into it. So yeah, so those were the key things for me. And also the Microsoft Jumpstart, right? Where there are Jumpstarts. If you don't know what the Microsoft Jumpstart is, actually let me show you this before. Microsoft Jumpstart. Okay, so let's take ourselves to our let's go do this. Jumpstart here. I'm going to share the screen in a bit, but before that, so yeah, here we go. Let's take a look at the IoT operations, Azure IoT operations, and then you can probably understand how this plays into that architecture. So let me quickly I'm going to share the screen here, and so so let's just go through this. So like I said, Azure IoT operations is in preview, which is a great way for you to transform your physical infrastructure at scale, so which is provisioning, so transforming, so from integrations, from management, for scale, that actually helps you to do that. Let's actually play this video and just take a listen.
Contoso Suites has made a concerted effort to implement IoT solutions that make their treats more efficiently, more profitably, and most importantly, more delicious. They installed sensors, developed custom apps for machine monitoring and defect detection. They worked towards automation, and they used data-derived insights to make better decisions. But over time, each proprietary solution siloed their operational data further. Many solutions couldn't capture the right data at the right time, and it became costly and complex to manage their fragmented environment, especially as solutions wouldn't scale across all of Contoso's facilities. That is, until they implemented Azure IoT Operations, enabled by Azure Arc. Azure IoT Operations helps Contoso Suites use their existing infrastructure to build, integrate, and scale their digital solutions with industry standards and specifications to get the most out of their investments. Here's how it works. Telemetry from cookers, coolers, and other equipment is captured, processed, and integrated with applications running at the edge or in the cloud. Now, applications help plant operators avoid downtime with near real-time insights. Messages are sent between machines, and if a machine does fail, data, workloads, and messages are still delivered with Azure IoT Operations running on Kubernetes. In fact, Contoso can repeat the same app build across factories to accelerate scale and gain global visibility. So applications for vision inspection at one site can now replicate at other locations. And all these solutions are implemented, secured, and managed from cloud to edge across all of Contoso's manufacturing facilities on a single control plane. With Azure IoT Operations, Contoso went from feeling overwhelmed and frustrated with their digital solutions environment to empowered with cloud-native innovation on their shop floor. To learn more about how Azure IoT Operations can transform your physical operations, visit the Azure IoT Operations website.
So, yep, you saw that. So that is Azure IoT Operations, which helps you to, technically migrate and move your resources, your Azure resources at scale, making it very easy. So from data processing at the edge, from asset discovery to the standard approach. So here we're talking about things like MQTT, OPC, UA, and also Open Telemetry. These are all available in, the Azure IoT Operations Suite. And then you have a unified management and monitoring system. So they've actually put this on Microsoft Azure Arc, which allows you to deploy, manage, and govern a lot of resources easily. And then it's cloud integrated with all the, AI-driven actions and obviously end-to-end security. So these are things you get or options you get when you run or when you're using the Azure IoT Operations. And we are going to be seeing a lot of the use cases for this on the show, on the channel, in the subsequent series. So make sure that you're subscribed to the channel, you're hitting the notification so that when we go live, you get all that information. So that is the Azure IoT Operations. So the question is, that was inside of, please could you expand on IoT with AI actions on the IoT Operations? Yes, definitely, Eliklim, we can do that. So Eliklim's question is that, can I, expand on the IoT with AI action? So we all know that with infusion of AI comes the ability to infer, the ability to, process data, to make meaning of it and stuff like that. So coming off of that premise, it's easy to say that if you have an AI infused operations, right, then you can have things like predictive maintenance, you can have things like forecasting, you can have things like other analysis that can be run through an AI module. Now, the actions, for instance, so I'll give you a typical example, and it's not as if it is like something that is entirely new. It's just enhancing it and using tools that makes it easy for you. So let's take an example of a smart building where there is a central cooling, or even if it's segmented cooling, right? All the sensor data and information you are using IoT to collect is being, sent to your backhaul, streamed to your backhaul, and fed into some kind of AI or ML modules, right? Now, over time, correlating the sensor information coming from the building sensors, right? Correlating that with, let's say, for instance, weather patterns or weather forecast or actual weather sensors or external sensors, right? Your IoT infrastructure can decide to reduce, right, the power consumption in terms of reducing or shutting down some of the central cooling to allow for, natural breeze to come into the building, right, or the facility. That's another one. For instance, for those on the factory floor, let's say you have an assembly line, right, a bottling assembly line, and you are sending sensor information, you are sending, let's say AI information, let's say a camera, which is overhead where the filling part is taking place. You can now infer using that data whether something is gone wrong to automatically shut down the assembly line rather than, have it fill out to see something make rather cause a lot of problems. And I'll give you an example. Sometimes there are certain things that is not easily caught by the human eye. So still using the bottling experience where you have an AI camera, right, which is on top of where the bottling is actually happening. And you have models that are trained to detect, let's say, particles, to detect things that are not supposed to be in that space of the bottling site. Now, with this AI camera sending all this data back to your backhaul, you can immediately infer that something has been found, which is not, an object has been detected, which is not supposed to be there. And automatically, that can actually instruct your assembly line to shut down for that thing to be picked up before processing continues. Versus, without such an AI action, you're going to continue with that whole batch, and later someone is going to find that thing in the drink or something, and you have to do a recall and say, hey, all the drinks that were processed with this batch have to be recalled because if we found some kind of like an object that wasn't supposed to be in there. So I don't know if that answers your question, but that would be like a typical use case of it, right? Awesome. And yeah, thanks for that. That was an interesting question, right? Awesome. So let's get into let's get into an unboxing session right now, right? So I'm going to switch to my workbench. As you can see from here, there is a lot of crazy stuff happening on this side of the workbench. So we're the ones who do the model training or IoT operation. Okay. So let me go back to answering this question before we come back to unboxing on the bench. So the question is that are we the ones who do the model training or the IT operations does that? So in the emerging world, and yeah, Elikim, like I said, I'm doing this with minimal stuff. Ideally, I should have popped your question on the screen for people to see, but trust me, by next week's episode, that will be resolved, right? So yes, so good question. However, to answer that, in today's technology era, right, where companies are embracing AI in everything, you're going to have people like data scientists, data engineers who are going to be responsible for that. So for you as someone who just wants to leverage the IoT operations services, these components are there for you to use, but then the actual ML or the actual models and that training will probably be handled by a team of your machine learning and data scientists. But the interesting perspective is that with stuff like AI Copilot infused in all these things, if you go with that route, then technically with just the data and the inference coming in, you could actually ask Copilot to infer, and make some meaningful decisions, or just act upon your data you've been feeding it for a while, and that is available now. So Microsoft is providing you the ability to use your own data on top of Copilot or GPT, and then you can ask it questions so it can make inferences from that. So I hope that answered your question. So I mean, if you're interested, you could do that, but ideally there would be a whole department that is responsible for handling and doing that. So back to our workbench. So we've had welcome, Elikim. So I've had some of these kits available for a while before we went off for the break, right? So we're going to be seeing a lot of these things. I already have said the first 5 people will literally get one of these for free. Electly has got his and waiting for the others. So this is an MX chip. It's an IoT dev kit. As you can see, it is Microsoft Azure certified, so which means you can literally and it's a very interesting dev kit because it has on board sensors and stuff that you can use. Now this is Microsoft Azure IoT ready, so you can use it with the IoT Central. You can even connect it to IoT Hub. It has its own connectivity, Wi-Fi, stuff like that you can use to connect with it. Now, a couple of things we'll be doing with this kit is that we will be having some of the meetups and hands-on sessions with schools, especially schools doing engineering and interested in embedded systems and stuff like that. So be watching out for our calendar. We might put it out there, and also follow our socials and to get that sorted out. So so we'll be giving out these things, and also you'll be seeing me do a lot of work with this dev kit, connecting it to Azure. It can also do .NET Nano. It can also do RTOS. So for those who are, so we have a few of this to give out, quite a number of them that we'll be giving out. And then also we have a number of road shows coming up with them as well. Here is LoRa. So we're going to be doing a lot of LoRa stuff on the show this season. So we have the LoRa, the Seed Studio LoRa 1 dev kit here. We're going to be doing a lot of stuff with LoRa this time. There's a project we are working on called Crafted Climate. You'll also be hearing a lot about Crafted Climate on the show. We're going to walk you through our process of how we started to build Crafted Climate to help track or monitor environmental metrics, and then run that through some AI modules as well and make the data available, some of them as open data for policy and stuff like that. So we'll be talking a lot about LoRa connectivity, which means creating devices that communicate over LoRa versus communicate over LTE or other forms of communications. We're going to do that a lot on this on the series as well. Then we are also you can see this. This is Espressif ESP32S3 dev kit C, and then also the ESP32 C6 dev kit C1. All right. To put this in perspective, these are boards, all right, that support. I don't know if you've heard about MATA thread. New protocols or that allow standards that are allowing us for different devices of speaking different, so to speak, languages to communicate and connect, right? And these are some of the ESP boards that support Thread, that support MATA, and can make that happen. So again, on this new season, you're going to be seeing a lot of these as well. You're going to see a lot of these work with these as well. But today we're not going to unbox them, but I just want to throw out there, actually, just to give us, let's look at this so we can have a good appreciation of it. So let's go here. Let's bring this here. So let's take it to the ESP32 S3 DevGit C1. Right, let's go there so I can just show you some. We can look at the data sheet, and then let's go ahead. This is S3. There we go. And then let's look at the C6. We have the C6 DevKit C1. There we go. Yeah, so this is just to give us some review into it. So as you can see, 3.3 volt power. There's an RGB is running the ESP32 S3 ROM, which we are familiar with. However, there are some interesting additions to that. Let's go ahead and see this. And let's look at the other one. Sorry. Let's take a look at no, this is the same one we've seen here. So let's look at the C6. There we go. So let's see. Yep. So this is the C6, and you can see, so the C6 is a general purpose module that has an 8 MB flash. And as you can see, it has Wi-Fi, it has Bluetooth. Let me bring this up again for you to see this. So it has Wi-Fi, it's got Bluetooth, it's got Zigbee, and also has got what? Thread. Like I said, so these support Thread that allow you to build modern applications that meet and can able to communicate across different spectrums. So that is the two ESP dev kits. You'll be seeing a lot more also of on the series as well. So like I said, we have a few of them here, a few of them which you see us work with. Obviously at some point in time also there'll be the use case we'll use some Raspberry Pi. Yes, I know Pi 5 is out, but don't worry, it's still the same. We can use it to do different things. So if you're planning on getting started in IoT, these are some of the boards I think you should take a look at, or you can take a look at the new Arduinos that are Wi-Fi compliant, that allows you to do especially cloud to device and device to cloud communications and stuff like that as such. And then obviously, like I said, there's going to be a lot of edge stuff. So you'll see us probably do some stuff with the Jetson Nano developer kit, running some AI modules on it, at edge, putting some inference, connecting, having some sensors connect to it as well. You see us do that on the show as well. So now let's go back to the bench and let's get this two. Well, let's get the others out of the way. We don't really need those. So this two, I've had these for a while. The first one is the Arduino. Let me see if I can get this to properly show up here. It's the Arduino Uno, make your own Uno kit, right? I think my my main shot camera is better in focusing than this one. So let's bring it here. There you go. So this is make your own Uno kit. This was sent from Arduino. So what this allows us to do is it allows us to create our own Arduino kit, right? So we can make the Arduino ourselves. So in the next episodes, I would be showing how to, just assemble and use this. So we're going to unbox this to see what's inside of this today. And then also, there's this box from Arduino. We love open source. I haven't opened it. So like I promised on the show, we're going to do the unboxing of that today. So come with me. Let's go to the bench and get it opened. So let me know what you think. So let's get this opened. I'm not being gentle with it. Yeah, come on. I think I need a sharper knife. Okay. Let's get this here. There you go. Good. What do we have in there? Let's open this up and take a look at this. So this is Nano ESP. So this is the Arduino Nano ESP board. And so let's see. So there are two of this. And obviously packing stuff. We don't need this. Let me throw this up here. All right. So these are the two things that came in it. So there is the Arduino Nano ESP32 with headers. And then there is, okay, so the Uno R4 Wi-Fi board. So this is the new one. This is the new Arduino Uno board that has it's Wi-Fi. Okay, so let's go ahead again. Let's go to the bench, and please remember today is Ask Me Anything. So if you have any questions, please feel free to drop that question in the chat. I would answer it. So if you're watching me from Facebook, you're watching me from YouTube, you're watching me from X, formerly Twitter, let me know where you're watching us from, and then we would have some fun with it. So yeah, let's go ahead, open it, see how it is. Like I said, we're trying to stick to this season. I would be very I'm going to be very very respectful to the time. So if it's an hour, it's an hour, unless unless it's so exciting that we have to finish it, but ideally we'll stick to the 1 hour. And obviously today I already started late, so can you land me a job at well, unfortunately I don't work with Arduino. I'm only an Arduino ambassador, but I'm not I don't work there. But I believe that if you it's not impossible, right? It's not impossible. It is very possible. If you want to land a job in Arduino, it is very possible. All you got to do is just be the best at what you do, put in the work, learn, create projects, showcase the project, let people know what you're doing. And who knows, just apply. You can never tell. You get it so early claim, that's for you. So let's go to our workbench and see what we got here. Let's see. Okay. This is cool. It has, yeah. So this is an Arduino board that has an ESP32S3. So it has where is that? So this Arduino board we just saw has this S3 in there. So as you can see, we're just right in line with the things we want to do. Yeah. So there's a question from Sylvian. What has been your most challenging aspect in the IoT field? So let me look at this. So what for me, one of the challenging things with IoT in the IoT field is truly access to kit, access to resources. And you would bear with me that it is not easy, to get access to some of these kits and resources if you want to work on IoT locally. Thankfully, a couple of people have, been able to start stores that sell or carry some of these things. But then again, if you don't find it in those stores, it takes some time, to get them in. And my other challenge also, apart from access to, hardware or resources, and for that matter, quality resources, is the interest, in people wanting to get into the field. Well, but I mean, that's just the general, it's not a challenge, but for me, the first challenge is access to devices and resources. That has been the challenge for me from this side of the world. And then I'll say that a personal challenge is, would say, projects. It is not very easy to come by IoT project here. I mean, even though if you look around us, there is opportunity for IoT in almost every area of the things we do, but there isn't that much, that's available to do that. But I think for me, the biggest challenge is access to resources or kit. And also, I mean, you can tell, look, sometimes you don't find the items and you order it, right? It takes, even if you order from AliExpress, look at the time it takes, 2-3 weeks, momentum dies out, and then I think there isn't a very vibrant hands-on IoT culture here, right? So a lot of people say they do IoT, right? But a lot of them is just theoretical IoT, right? Only few people are doing hands-on IoT. So people who are interested in trying to find the places where they can commune or connect to people who are in IoT is also a challenge. I don't know if that answers your question, Arnold. Yes, and and then Ernest Dumenu. Hi, Samuel. Great job. Can you suggest a site with guides or walkthrough for beginning project that can be done with the MX chip IoT dev kit? Yes, definitely. I think you are the minus Arnold. You are the third person. So, please take note for me, Arnold. So, Ernest Dumenu also gets a free dev kit. Yes. We'll give you all the resources. Once you come for your dev kit, we'll give you all the resources to it. And yes, true. It's expensive, So for the average person or beginner who wants to get into IoT, and met with all the challenges of having to acquire hardware, which is expensive, that is some of the challenges that I think is the biggest for IoT. And yes. Don't forget, kindly don't forget to share the channel, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and very soon, like I said, part of the things we'll be doing is that there's going to be a lot of giveaways. We're going to have a lot of boot camps, hands-on boot camps, where we're going to give kits and stuff away. But pre-request will be you should have subscribed to the channel, you should follow the channel. We are going to be doing some kind of treasure hunt on the show, and the instructions is very, very simple. Every week we're going to release a video. We're going to come live to do something every week, right? Now, hidden in each week's video would be a code, and the code it could be the first 5 minutes of the show. It could be the last 10 minutes of the show. It could be in between the show whilst it's going on, but we will release a code. Now, at the end of every month, so that would be 4 streams at least at the end of every month, the people or the person who is able to get all 4 codes, listen carefully, who is able to get all the 4 codes and also has subscribed has subscribed to the channel. If you have already not received an MS Dev Kit, you will get one, and then also you get to be one of the participants or get a free pass to our bootcamp and hands-on training and other stuff and other giveaways that we'll do. So I think that is an interesting thing. So be looking out for it. Again, simple. Make sure that 1, you're subscribed to the channel, and then within the month you watch all the episodes and decipher, get the code. The code will pop up. So today is not part, but from next week that's going to happen. So the code is going to pop up on the screen, somewhere on the screen. It could be here, it could be here, it could be here, but it will pop up on the screen some way, somehow. And you're going to see it because it will come with its own sound effect and all that. So you know that it has popped up. Take note of that code, right? And for all the streams in the month, anyone who is able to get all the codes, right, correct, we're going to provide you a form where you're going to put in the, fill in the form with a code. For those are able to do that, you get a free, you might actually get one of these. You might get either the ESP32S, or you're going to get the MX chip IoT Dev Kit. We have a bunch of these around. So, and then also you get the opportunity to participate in our future sessions. Is it only for IoT Tuesday? No. So early claim, it's not only for IoT Tuesday. So this is going to happen for all the shows I do. So whether it is Demystify Technology, which is going to happen this Friday, or it is Power Series, any of my shows or all my shows that are going to live stream are going to have this component in it, because I feel it's just a way to engage more with the people to understand what they're doing and how, they want us to. So it's not just IoT Tuesday. Every show would have what I'll give out and what I will do, right? With that said, I want to encourage everybody, each and every one of you who is interested in IoT. It might be a bit restrictive for you because of resource access, but connect with us, subscribe to the channel, join our WhatsApp group, join our WhatsApp channel, and then take part in the hands-on programs we are about to roll out. That is the only way you're going to get hands-on experience, and you're going to get the hands-on skills. If you have any idea, right, please, is the Arduino kit the same as IoT Dev Kit? It's this Arduino kit is not the same as the MS chip Dev Kit. They are two different kits, but they all allow you to do IoT stuff. They are all Wi-Fi powered, right? So you can send data, connect to the internet and send data to the cloud and do a lot of interesting things. What I would like to advise is that you need to take the step. Like, all these resources can be available for you, but if you're not an active player in the community, you get to you're going to lose out on all these opportunities, right? And that is something that I would encourage you to get started with. Join the community, subscribe to the channel, ask questions. With that said, there's something we want to do as part of the rebranding of the show, is to ask people to tender in ideas for projects. And all these projects are going to be for social good. So bring ideas for social group, and then we're going to have a once every quarter hackathon where everybody who wants to partake in it come. If you have a great idea, you just send, once we open it up, just send your ideas, right? If you don't have any IoT Dev Kit, don't worry. Once your idea is picked on the day of the hackathon, just come. We're going to provide you with a Dev Kit. We're going to provide you with the resources and stuff to build it. So collectively, we all can learn how, that happens, right? So I think I see 7 minutes on the clock. So let's go back to the bench. Let's open up and see what is the other one. And then hopefully this would have been a bit insightful and impactful for you. And yeah, remember, it's still Ask Me Anything. So the questions are still welcome. So drop the questions in the chat. I'll try to answer them. Let's go to the workbench. All right. So this one, it has, I think it has an interesting standoff. the Arduino form factor, but has the ESP. I see there is it has the LCD, the metrics, the LED metrics there. I need to, I'm sure if I switch to this other one, you see that. So that's it. I need to change my camera actually to make it. I need to change it to the main camera so that it'll be easy for it to pick some of these things. Let's see. You know what? Let's switch to the main shot. This one seems to be very. So there you go. Yep, there you go. So it has Wi-Fi on board. I see the ESP, and then I see the barrel. So this is the barrel power. So you can have also a USB-C. So this is the Uno R4 board. That's how it looks like. And then it has a few. It's got the thank you. It's got warranty, and then it's got a few stickers in there. Cool. All right, let's take a look at next one. So again, so interesting. This is the, okay, so this is the Nano, and this is also running ESP32. So it is the ESP32 Nano, right? And this has got, let's look at the specs of this. We have, so the specs, it has Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, ESP32, 8 MB of flash, is 5 volts, 3.3, 14 digital pins, 8 analog pins, and it's compatible with the Arduino Cloud. So one thing about the Arduino Cloud is that it allows you to also connect your IoT devices to the cloud, so you can send telemetry data there, or you can actually build your whole IoT project in the cloud. So hello Sylvia, thanks for joining. Do we have our next person who is getting the free dev kit? So I know, let's make a list of the people that have won. So from the beginning, we have Elik Plim, Kofi, you got the first one, Godwin Komeko got the second one, then we have who else, and then we have Ernest Dumenu got the third one, and I think now we have Sylvia Godonu getting the fourth one. So 3 minutes before we call it a day, those are the winners for the free MS Dev Kit. So if you're joining and you're asking what this is it. So you got yourself a free MX Dev Kit. It's an IoT Dev Kit, Azure IoT Ready. Allows you to create IoT solutions on the Azure ecosystem and also connect it and do a lot of fun, interesting things. Today has been the restart, or the new season for IoT Tuesday. We do this on Tuesdays, bringing you IoT content, Internet of Things, and stuff like that. So hopefully you have any questions, project ideas and stuff on IoT, you can reach out to us. You can also make sure you join us on our YouTube channel. So yes, question. Assuming I want to let a user interact with my system, okay? I feel Azure has limitations. Why do you feel Azure has limitations? Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. Endemic Re. Okay, we have our last, so Sylvian, we have our last winner for the MX Dev Kit, which is Endemic Re has got one. So my team would get in touch with you guys, and then we'll get you the kit. So Eliklim, back to your question. Why do you feel Azure has limitations? Let me hear. I mean, if you can elaborate more on why you think or feel Azure has limitation, and maybe I can debunk or demystify it for you, so you probably will not have any concerns and thoughts. What are your concerns or your struggles or challenges for thinking that Azure has limitations? If you can drop that in. Before that, right? I think it will be prudent if I bring this out here, and let's Azure IoT. Let's open this up. Let's open this up. The dashboards are quite restricted. Well, if it's just a matter of the dashboards, then that's not a problem. I think you are referring to IoT Central, right? But here's the thing. IoT Central is not the only Azure service for IoT, right? IoT Central is just, look at it as an accelerator, right? IoT Central is like a SaaS, software as a service, where you don't want to worry about how do I connect my hardware to Azure, how do I, just collect telemetry and show it on. So Azure IoT Central is just a quick and easy way, a rapid way of creating your IoT solutions. Trust me, if you want to go crazy with it, once you are ingesting your data in Azure IoT, you can export it into, right from IoT Hub. You can put it in Event Grid. You can put it even in Stream Analytics. You can connect it to Microsoft Fabric. You can connect it as an API and build your own dashboard. You can put it into Power BI. The possibilities are endless. So I don't want you to restrict yourself to feel that IoT, Azure IoT is restrictive. So let me go to the desktop and show you this. So as you can see from here, this is just a subset of Azure IoT, right? If you look at some of the products, okay, that was the one you introduced us to. Yes, Agana Telecom, yes. So what I introduced you guys to was Azure IoT Central, where you could even use just your phone to send data to Azure IoT Central. It's like a cheap and easy way to do that, right? So there is Azure IoT Hub. That's what I'm saying, that once you continue to follow us on the channel, you see how we do these things end to end, right? You can talk about the Azure IoT Hub, which is a way of connect, manage, and scale your IoT devices. Then there's IoT Central, which I mentioned is just like an accelerator, right? Where you can easily pick stuff. I've seen a ghost on the channel. Daniel, where have you been? Sorry, guys. So Daniel and I were the two Hackstar ambassadors for Accra, or Ghana, so to speak. And I see you have left us. Congrats. Let's keep in touch, because you've been missing for a very long time. Let's keep in touch and do some good stuff. So back to your question, Eric Gleam. To answer that, as you can see, IoT Central is just a way for you to rapidly or quickly get yourself into get your stuff into the cloud. You can talk about Azure Digital Twins that allows you to build digital assets, a digital version of your physical asset. So I'll give you an example for digital twins. For instance, you could let's say all the street lights, right? There is a popular case in Singapore where what they have done is that they've created a digital twin of the major parts of the city. So even if they are doing planning, right, they are able to go to the digital twin to see what the representation is physically and then make tweaks. So the example of street lights, right, you can create digital twins of all the street lights in a particular area. And because it's a digital twin, at every point in time, it is reflective of what's on the ground, right? It's a reflective of what's on the ground. So for instance, if all your street lights, which are taking part in the digital, the digital twin system, go off digitally, you see that they go, because the sensor or data value they are reporting, gives you the same vibe, right? That it is off. And with that said, you can easily manage it. Then you have IoT, Azure IoT on the edge, and that's what I was talking to you about. That there are new stuff that have come, with that. So you can decide to do, processing on the edge and all that interesting things. And then there's, Sphere. Sphere is, I think I have a Sphere somewhere. So Sphere is not necessarily a hardware, right? It's Microsoft's way. This is the Sphere hardware that was introduced some time back, right? But the Sphere itself, is a platform. So it's a platform that has got certain principles and things in place to make your IoT devices or infrastructure quite secured, right? So that's the whole thing about it. And then we can also shift to Windows IoT, right? Which is just like the way you have your Linux and you have all the other stuff, right? Windows IoT is also the same. It's kind of like an operating system stripped down that allows you to run, IoT infrastructure, IoT solutions on it. And then there's the Azure real-time operating system, which is Autos. And these are just but a few of the main or major IoT offerings in the Azure cloud. But there are things like functions, event grid, all these things, you can connect your IoT data to it. So Eliclim, don't feel restricted. And even those tiles in IoT Central, you can actually even modify and create your. If you feel you don't like it, you can export the data to Power BI, and then from Power BI, you would go ahead and create your own dashboard. You can even create APIs out of your IoT data, right? So an example would be you have an IoT setup that is collecting sensor information and you're passing it through IoT Hub, doing some transformation. You can export it into kind of like an API that third party people can access, or you can pass the data into an AI ML system for predictive maintenance, analysis, and Copilot crazy stuff. So I hope that answered your question. Daniel, I would really reach out and then we can get talking. Yes, I hope that that answered your question, Eliclim. So my clock says it's 10:06, but we started exactly. We started at 9:06. So this is where we'll end today's comeback episode. But then I hope you found it interesting. I would encourage you to please subscribe to the channel, join the WhatsApp group, share the link, bring up your friends, who, whether they are new, they are, intermediates, they are professionals, bring them along. Let's do this. And then also we do AMAs once every month. So the last Tuesday of every month would be more or less like an AMA session where we try to answer some of these questions for you. With that said, I would like to say a big thank you to all of you who made it to the show today as we rebrand, as we re-enter or we restream again. Thank you to all of you joining. Please bring your comments and feedback if there's something you think I didn't do well, something you feel I could do better. I'm always open to take that suggestion as well. We've been streaming live to YouTube, to Facebook, to X, and LinkedIn, wherever you watched us from. Thank you very much for making a date with us today. I'll catch you again next week. Don't forget, next we're going to get into some really practical things, creating things. And like I said, don't forget, be looking out for those secret codes. Make sure you participate. And this is where we draw the curtains. Go out there, make good connections. Let's make the world a better place through whatever we do, whether it's through technology, through whatever you do. Let's make the world a better place. Thank you so much for joining, and I will catch you again next week, Tuesday. I'm out.